In this topic, we'll learn about functions in Kotlin. Functions are pieces of code that contain instructions to create an output from some input. They are often referred to as methods too. Some of the functions are predefined in a programming language like println. We have been using println to display text and numbers as output. Then there is the main function in which we write all of our executable code. All these functions are there to perform a specific task. To learn this in detail, we'll make basic addition and subtraction functions just like in a calculator. We cannot write a function inside a function. So we'll write our function after the main function like this. We first write fun. Fun stands for function. Then we type the name of the function. Let's name it addition. Then we mention what parameters we need to add to execute this function. In simple words, parameters are inputs we need to create an output for. So in this function, we would need two integers that we can add. Let's type a, b. A and b are two variables which we will add in the function. We can specify that we only want integers by writing (int) after both variables. Then we write what we want the function to do. In this case, we want to display the value of a plus b. So we'll write println a plus b and our function is complete. Let's try this. So whenever we want to add two integers, we can call this function like this. By writing 54, 90, we are giving the functions the values for the variables a and b. This is called passing the parameters in programming. Now if you run it, it should give us the sum of both the integers. We get 144, that's the sum of 54 and 90, meaning our function is working fine. Sometimes we may not want to display the output of the function right away. We may want to use the output to perform other functions on it. In these kind of cases, we use something called return type. Let's make the subtraction function to understand it. We'll do the same fun, subtraction, C and D. Now instead of using the println function, we would store the output in some another variable like this, s equals c minus d. And we would return the value of s by typing return s. Just one more thing. We would have to specify the return data type after the parameters like this. We type (int) because we are returning an integer value. Whatever data type you want the function to return, you can specify it like this by mentioning its keyword. So whenever we call this subtraction function, it will return the answer, but it won't display it. Let's test it. We will subtract, say, 21 from 89 using the subtract function, and then we'll add 32 to the value that the function will return. We get 100. 89 minus 21 is 68, and when you add 32 to it, it becomes 100. That means our function is working fine. That's how we make functions in Kotlin. The two examples we covered were both of parameterized functions, meaning you have to pass values to get an output. But there are non-parameterized functions too. While using non-parameterized functions, we don't need to pass any values or any input. We'll learn and use these types of functions in the coming module. That's all about functions. Practice as much as you can. All the best.